Hello friends. Once again welcome to your own channel. So it's a new day and we start a new journey from Rampur to Chitkul. So currently we are at Rampur. We are just checking out of our hotel and now we'll move towards Chitkul. So we decided to skip breakfast at the hotel and we stopped at a small dhaba. It is run by a family and we had our breakfast of parathas and maggies there, and it's just on the outskirts of Rampur. And I'll also suggest you that once you are traveling to these places, we should prefer to have our breakfast and lunch outside on these small dhabas. First thing is that you will have to experience the local uh, cooking practices. You will have the local taste, and secondly, in a way you will also be helping these locals to generate some more money for their livelihood. So today we are going to Chitkul, and so the distance from Rampur Bushahr to Chitkul is approximately 120 kilometers, but it takes more than 3 hours to reach that place due to some challenging road stretches, narrow roads, broken roads. So you have those challenges while you are going to Chitkul, though it's not that tough, it's manageable, but still your pace comes down because these are narrow roads, and once you have traffic from both the sides, then it's really difficult to cross the roads. And so it is. This Chitkul is at a height of around 11,320 feet from the sea level. It's a small village. It is also the last village on Indo-Tibet border. So it is on the old Indo-Tibet trade route, and the road ends at Chitkul. I mean, nobody is allowed beyond Chitkul, and the area afterwards is managed by ITBP. So you can only go till Chitkul. You can't go beyond Chitkul. And so we are on the way, and we just came across this steel structure bridge. Just thought that okay, very rarely you come across these structures nowadays. So we decided to have some pictures, click some pictures, and I also decided to click my Alcazar with this steel structure in the background. And also remind you of one thing, that whenever you are traveling on this stretch, you need to be careful about the fuel for your vehicles. So when we left Rampur, there is only one petrol pump near Rampur on the outskirts. So when we reached there for the fuel, it was dry, so there was no fuel. And these challenges could be theirs, but luckily, there's another small town, Rekongpyo, so which is around 9 kilometers from Rampur, from that petrol pump, and we could find fuel there. So I'll suggest that whenever your fuel gauge shows that you're touching 50% of your fuel tank, you should try to find the nearest fuel station and top it up. And just see that whenever you're traveling on these hills, you have at least 3/4 of the fuel in your vehicle all the time, be it you are in a four-wheeler or you are on a two-wheeler, because there is a scarcity of fuel pumps in this area. So we are currently near Chitkul. We are just around 10 kilometers away from Chitkul, and then we stopped because we found a much greener area surrounded by some beautiful mountains covered with snow, some devdar and pine trees around. And finally we reached Chitkul. So decided that since we have already visited Chitkul in the past and we knew that there could be parking issues inside the village, so we decided to stop at the entrance. So this is the bus station or the bus stand of Chitkul, and we decided to have a room in one of the guest houses at the bus stand itself, so that we will not have parking issues for our vehicles, for our motorcycles. And so we just took this room in one of the guest houses. We took 2 rooms, and it was costing us around 800 rupees per night. Nothing which is okay. You just have to spend one night. I mean, no luxury, nothing in this, but you have all the adequate necessities are getting covered. So you have 24/7 water, you have geyser, You have clean rooms, beds, quilt, all those things are available. And secondly, it is at a very good location that you can get your cars parked right in front of your guest house. And this is a small glimpse of the Chitkul village from our guest house. So when we reached there, it was really windy. It was drizzling, so it was getting cold. And the weather at Chitkul keeps changing pretty fast. In few minutes it will be sun, and then suddenly you will see that it is filled with clouds, and then it starts raining. And wind is always blowing fast. And so we are at the last dhaba, which is at Chitkul, and this is called Akhri Dhaba of Hindustan. And this owner has pasted some pictures for his own memories with some film stars who have visited this place for some reasons, maybe for shooting or something, or they have just visited it just to see the last village of India. We'll also share some glimpses of drone shots at the end, and I'll leave you with those drone shots at the end. And I'm sure that you'll enjoy that. So this Chitkul village is on bank of Baspa river, and so from the dhaba we decided to just go for a small trek towards the river, and we decided to follow a small pathway, pagdandi kind of thing, and then so that we can just go and have some pictures, some drone shots, have some fun near the river. And so the way this Chitkul village is expanding and commercializing. I mean, when we came 5 years back, it was just a small village with very few pakka houses. Most of the houses were of wood, and people were more into camping, and there was just a couple of homestays there. But now you see a lot of construction work happening all around. A lot of new guest houses, small hotels, restaurants and cafes are coming up. So I think this village will lose its sheen in the near future. This will also become a concrete jungle very fast, and this will be a commercialized place like other hill stations or small cities we have on hills like Shimla, Manali, Kulu. The way they are getting commercialized, and the same thing will happen to this place as well, because wherever people reach, more and more people are coming here. The way accessibility is improving, we'll have more influx of people coming to these places. So it has positives, it has negatives. Local people will get some business, but then the natural beauty of the place will diminish over time. And so it's a give and take situation. I mean, it's good for the people, local people. So we had some pictures at the on the banks of the river Baspa, and there are certain there are few camp sites also on the banks of the river. We could see some people putting up their camps besides their cars, and they decided to stay in their own camps instead of taking some camps or staying in some hotels. And there are some already constructed permanent cottages on the banks of the river, which can also be hired to stay there. And so all in all, it was a good journey from Rampur to Chitkul. Once you reach Chitkul, you really feel refreshed. So till now, our journey has been good. We have been enjoying it, and so these are some pictures which I took. So you have these boards which show, and so we decided just to go for a walk in the village, and you will see that a lot of activity happening in the village now, and it's not a small village anymore. It is expanding every day. A lot of new construction coming up, and new cafes. So food wise, no problem. I mean, you can easily get your lunch and dinner, breakfast needs fulfilled. I mean, for lunch and dinner, these guys normally have momos, Maggies, even your chapatis and sabjis. All these things are available. Not many restaurants are there as of now, but there is still uh, there are uh, adequate restaurants. So not a problem to have your lunch and dinner there. And a lot of bikers were also there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how they travel to such treacherous locations. So a group of bikers on Harley Davidsons. I mean, considering the weight and size of those bikes, it is really challenging for them. But biking is a passion. Whoever follows it by heart. And I'm also planning to buy a bike now. I'm getting excited. So very soon I'll be touching my half century. I'll be turning 50, and then I thought of pampering myself with a bike this time. So suggest me which one should I go for. And I don't want to go for a very heavy bike because I think I don't want to be in trouble while traveling on long routes. So I would prefer to have a light bike, which has enough power, adequate power, which doesn't give me problems on high altitudes, and easy to maneuver. So some people have, some friends have already suggested that I should go for Royal Enfield Meteor, and so I'll take a test ride and I'll see if it fits my size, because I'm just 5'6". And though I've driven bikes a lot, and but it was 20 years back. So for last 20 years I've not been biking at all, and starting after 20 years, and that to be for long journeys and such treacherous routes, it's going to be challenging for me. But let's see, let's try. So we have a group of bikers. I'll join that group. Though I prefer driving because it is more comfortable, whether it is raining or dust storm or extreme heat, it doesn't bother you when you're inside your car. But if you're biking, then you have to face everything. So you have to be ready to face those challenges. So these are some of the shots which we took at the drone, and so these shots will show you how big the village is, what is the activity happening around river. You can see a lot of cottages coming up right adjacent to the banks of the river, on the banks of the river, and this is short clips of the complete village, aerial view of the village. And so this is it. I'll leave you with these shots, and we'll meet you again in the next episode, which will be from Rampur, from Chitkul to. So tomorrow morning we'll be leaving for next night. We'll stay there for a night, and we'll cover the journey, the route. Share it with you. Till then, please enjoy these small glimpses, and have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.